So here we will speak about 4 Kumaras coming to visit Maharaja Prthu. So 4 Kumaras are great sages, and they also have mystic powers, so they could fly in the sky and come to Maharaj Prthu like this. And the king and his associates, they could recognize them as they were descending from the sky without any airplane. They were able to move through the air like this by their mystic power. So when he saw them, when Maharaj Prthu saw them, he was so eager to receive them, and he hurried up to meet them. As conditioned soul is attracted to the sense objects, different sense objects, like food or a beautiful woman or beautiful man or some smell, etc. So he was spontaneously attracted to receive these sages, great sages. Kumaras were glorious. They're actually one of the 12 Maharajas, although there are 4 of them, but they are considered to be one of the 4 Mahajans, and Mahajan means great authority in spiritual science, or great authority in Bhagavad Dharma, or Krishna consciousness. There are 12 authorities in the universe, and 4 Kumaras are considered to be one of them. And 4 Kumaras, they appear as small boys. Actually, they refused to grow up because they didn't want to get into family life. So they wanted to remain children, but later we will see when they speak how wise they are, how knowledgeable they are, and how realized they are. So king bowed down before them, but then also he washed their feet, and he also sprinkled the water from their lotus feet on his head, over his hair. So this is a very respectful action, and this is a very nice example that king can do something like that. So he was showing to everyone how to receive a great personality who can enlighten you with transcendental knowledge. So although they look like boys, actually they were elder in relation shining. So Maharaj Prthu, out of his great respect for them and out of his gentleness, he started to speak very humbly. He addressed them as auspiciousness personified. And he said, "It is very difficult for even the mystic yogis to see you. Indeed, you are very rarely seen. And I do not know what kind of pious activity I performed for you to grace me by appearing before me without difficulty." So Maharaj Prthu considered himself very fortunate and very much blessed that they decided to visit him. He was very grateful. Any person upon whom the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are pleased can achieve anything which is very rare to obtain in this world as well as after death. Not only that, but one also receives the favor of the auspicious Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, who accompany the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So it is said that devotees always carry the Lord with them. They carry the Lord within their heart. And of course, everybody is carrying the Lord within their heart. But it is said that Vaishnavas and Brahmanas carry Vishnu with them because they are conscious. They are more conscious of the Lord and they are always guided by the Lord. So Prthu Maharaj continued and he said that although you are traveling in all planetary systems, people cannot know you. Just as they cannot know the super soul, although he is within everyone's heart as the witness of everything. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the super soul. So sometimes we ask, oh, can I listen to the super soul or can I connect to the super soul? But actually, it's not so cheap. It says even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the super soul. A person who is not very rich and is attached to family life becomes highly glorified when saintly persons are present in his home. The master and servants who are engaged in offering the exalted visitor water, a sitting place, and the paraphernalia for reception are glorified, saintly persons with great respect. On the contrary, even though full of all opulence and material prosperity, any householder house where the devotees of the Lord are never allowed to come in, and where there is no water for washing their feet, is to be considered a tree in which all venomous serpents live. Now, this is a very strong metaphor, and Srila Prabhupada is giving example of people who put all kinds of signs, no trespassing, don't come in. Sometimes even they maybe write, no preachers, please don't ring the bell. So they're not welcoming preachers or saintly personalities, but such a home is considered like a tree with venomous serpents or venomous snakes, poisonous snakes. So Maharaj Prthu addressed four Kumaras as the best of the Brahmanas, and in this way he experienced in the path of liberation, you are keeping yourselves just like small children. So I mentioned why they remained like small children, although they are great sages. And now Prthu Maharaj is starting to inquire from the Kumaras. So he inquired about persons who are entangled in the dangerous material existence because of their previous action. And now he is interested in their liberation. He is interested in their protection. He is a saintly king and he is like a father to everyone. So therefore he is asking the great sages to say something that will give a hope. Could such persons whose only aim is sense gratification be blessed with any good fortune? So is there any hope for such people? Then Prthu Maharaj continued, my dear sirs, there is no need to ask about your good and bad fortune because you are always absorbed in spiritual bliss. The mental concoction of the auspicious and inauspicious does not exist in you. So Kumaras are above the modes of nature, they are above the dualities of the material nature. They are situated in higher consciousness. I am completely assured that personalities like you are the only friends for persons who are blazing in the fire of material existence. I therefore ask you, how in this material world we can very soon achieve the ultimate goal of life? So this is a very basic question and relevant to everyone. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always anxious to elevate the living entities who are His parts and parcels, and for their special benefit, the Lord travels all over the world in the form of self-realized persons like you. So this is important, that Lord, He is actually acting through His representatives. He arranges that His representatives travel and deliver the conditioned souls, and enlighten them, and preach to them, and support them. And now, after hearing this speech by Prthu Maharaj, out of the four Kumaras, one of them, Sanat Kumara, he actually started to speak and reply to Maharaj's questions. And Maharaj's speech was meaningful, appropriate, full of precise words, and very sweet to hear. So this is also related to the Bhagavad Gita verse in the 17th chapter, where austerity of speech is mentioned. And now Sanat Kumara is starting to speak, and we will actually discuss this in the next broadcast.